In this video, I'm going to show you how to answer certain questions about a function given by a graph. So here we have a function h with a graph. So let's answer the question. So to find the domain of a function given by a graph, we have to consider all the values on the x-axis for which the function is defined. So the arrow at the end of the line means this function continues in this direction, so that means it will cover all the negative values to the left of -6. So domain of this function will be definitely everything to -2, and then at -2 this function is defined, so we continue. In such a way we can continue all the way to 1. At 1 this function is still defined, and then it's defined after 1 all the way to 3. So 3 will be the only value at which this function is not defined, because this arrow indicates that this function continues in the same way to the right, meaning that all these values are covered. So for all values except 3, this function has an output. So to answer this question, domain is from -infinity to 3 and from 3 to infinity. Now, how do I use the graph of a function to evaluate it? So what is h of -2? To find h of -2, that means we have to find the input -2 and find the point on the graph that corresponds to this input. So there's only one such point by definition, so that point will be right here, and the output that corresponds to this point is 2. So the ordered pair is -2, 2, so h of -2 is 2. Now, what does it mean to solve h of x equals 4? To solve h of x equals 4 means we're looking for all the inputs which will produce output 4. That means we're looking for all the x values where the graph of a given function intersects this horizontal line y equals 4. So it's easy to see that there are two such inputs, 1, and here if we round it, then 5 will be that input. So the solution of this equation has two values, it's 1 and 5. Now, how do we find the x-intercept visually? So to find the x-intercept, we're basically looking at where the graph crosses the x-axis. So visually we can identify that point. So the answer is it crosses the x-axis at x equals -3. So the answer is -3. And similarly we can identify the y-intercept. The y-intercept will be also 3. I'm sorry, not also 3, but just 3. So these are the answers to all of the questions about function h.